In this episode of Detroit Performs, a choir energizes Detroit. Light up Detroit! A young musician tells her tale, and an internationally known rock and roll artist. It's all ahead on this edition of Detroit Performs.
Funding for Detroit Performs is provided by the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs and the National Endowment for the Arts, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to Detroit Performs. I'm your host, DJ Oliver, and I'm about to head into the world's oldest jazz club, Baker's Keyboard Lounge on Livernois Avenue in Detroit. Now, this lounge has been host to some of the greatest voices in blues and jazz, including Ella Fitzgerald, Miles Davis, Nat King Cole, and a whole lot more. Now, while I get seated, you check out our first segment. These children are the future of music. The Detroit Youth Choir energizes audiences with their dancing, acting, and of course, incredible voices. We went out to a rehearsal for their newest performance, Miseducated. Class is now in session. Light up Detroit! Light up Detroit!
The Detroit Youth Choir mission is really to help the youth of Detroit, those that love to sing, that love music.
We're mostly coming together to perform and be more of like a better representation of Detroit.
It's just beautiful. Like we take so much hard work and effort and put it into our rehearsals, and then we can come up with a show.
They're beyond what you could ever imagine as a group of children. It will bring tears to your eyes because they feel what they sing. They truly exhibit what they feel.
There's a lot of talented young people and a lot of talented artists in Detroit. There's a lack of programs out here for young people. And I just decided I want to give back to my community. We were founded in 1996 by Fleming Ivory, and he asked me, would you like to take over the organization? So this is my 15th season with the choir, and we blossom into a 50-plus member group. If you can talk, you can sing. And I believe that I can get the worst vocal person to sing. 2, ready, and you might win some, but you really lost one. It's all about making them feel comfortable and giving them encouraging, confidence and advice on how to strengthen their voice. And y'all be loud, because I'm standing right here, I can't even hear you.
He really teaches us how to hit notes and be on key and how we can blend all of our voices together, like unison, harmony, and all that kind of things. I
believe in taking those young people that want to sing but really don't have the ability. I turn that young person into a singer, and we have proof. We have young people that's singing solos and starring in some of our own original productions. For example, we've done Motown, we've done classical, we've done R&B, we've done the Negro spiritual. We do all genres of music, so they're getting exposure.
It gives you opportunities to learn about music, and it also gives you opportunities to perform in front of a lot of people and get over stage fright.
Amber had a desire to sing, so I brought her to the Detroit Youth Concert Choir. Mr. White has taken her to another level in terms of her discipline, in terms of her self-esteem, in terms of her social skills. DYC has done a phenomenal job.
I do see that being a part of the choir has given them the opportunity and preparing them for regular life. Positive changes I see in my daughter from them being a part of the Detroit Youth Choir is that they're more outgoing. They're confident in singing and performing in front of people and then speaking as well. My wife and I has planted the seed. The Detroit Youth Choir waters that seed.
The Detroit Youth Choir rehearses 1 day a week, generally for 5 hours. And we also have a day during the week where we do choreography. And we also have an acting component as well. So you have to be all three. You have to dance, you have to sing, you have to act. So that's what sets us apart.
Coming to rehearsal each week is like seeing your friends and your family over and over again. And it's like you never get tired of seeing them. It's mostly like an escape from the real world. It's like a place that we can actually go to and have someone that like believes in us and that actually has a dream and a goal for us in the future.
1, 2, ready, go. You might win. We're doing a tribute show to the artist Lauryn Hill. We're practicing the acting and the music for that show. The name of the show is Miseducated. Class is now in session. So it's a take off of Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And they love it because it's hip hop. They get to rap, they get to sing, they get to dance and act.
All the songs have a school theme to it, like all the troubles that us high schoolers and us elementary schoolers go through. And we're mostly telling like the adults and the parents in the audience mostly our everyday struggles of being teenagers.
But it's time for us to school you. Because if you see what we go through, then you might understand.
Because clearly you have been miseducated about our generation. So get your pen and paper ready because we're about to get ready to learn.
Because class is now in session.
We mostly take all of her songs and all the life story that she went to and we try to mostly bring it to life.
Watch out, watch out. Look out, look out. Jack it up, rock it out. Light up Detroit, light up Detroit.
We actually sing a song, Light Up Detroit, written by this young man, Jerry Zonka. The kids, they get with it. You know, it's a nice up-tempo song. Light up Detroit. So when we travel, wherever we go, we sing Light Up Detroit because that song represents our city and we want to make sure that we hold the torch for our city.
Light up Detroit.
I try to show pride in Detroit every single day. When I wake up in the morning to when I go to sleep. I sing, I dance, I act. I am one of the actors here. We just do anything we can to be the best Detroit choir out here.
Singing, shouting, we can do it. Come on, join us. Let's get together now.
The opportunities that Detroit Youth Choir has given my daughters are the exposure. Absolutely, the exposure, having people to know who they are, not my daughters individually, but the Detroit Youth Choir and them being a part of that has played a tremendous role.
Let's light up Detroit.
The Detroit Youth Choir, they really prepare you for like different challenges and different opportunities that you would get in life. We really get the skills and the preparation that we need to like become performers or just in the business world.
We have some people that went on and got degrees in music and in college, period. We have young people that's in the workforce, and we also have a 99.9% graduation rate with our organization.
Mr. White as a mentor to these kids is tremendous, and aside from the fact that he teaches them the music, choreography, music discipline, this man works midnights, he gets off work, coming to Detroit Youth Choir, rehearsals, performances. His dedication is tremendous, and I appreciate that.
It just fills my heart to know that he is making a difference. He's defying the statistics of what we hear on the news.
We have some of the hardest working kids in the city. I just go in and tell them, do your best, have fun, and leave smoke on the ground. Smoke on the ground to me is leave your mark. You know, let's do a song. Let's make the audience stand up and clap. Let's make somebody cry. And if we can do that, we done our job.
We might joke and laugh in rehearsal, but when we get on stage, we mean business. Like when you come to our shows, you're gonna get your money's worth.
You can learn more about the Detroit Youth Choir and every other artist seen here today on DetroitPerforms.org. Baker's presents local and major jazz acts and has some of the best acoustics around. Plus, the 99 seats in the joint makes it a real unique experience. Now, let's check out Libby Decamp, who at only 20 years old is making her mark as a traditional folk singer.
I love Romeo. It's a very Americana kind of town. I live on 8 acres. I absolutely love every bit of it. It's very inspirational and soothing to me at the same time. Having horses is another one of my huge passions that plays into a lot of what I do. Traditional music definitely speaks to me the most. I love that it incorporates historical aspects with a lot of rural aspects, which I love, and it's all kind of about the storytelling medium. Pete Seeger and Bob Dylan are the main link for me to the older traditional music because they played a huge part in bringing it back. And I found them first and then traced back where their songs were coming from. And it's like a gold mine.
Hello out there. How's everybody doing tonight? Woohoo! My favorite answer. My name is Libby Decamp. I'm gonna play a couple original songs tonight.
I didn't start actively learning instruments until I was 13 or 14. And I started with guitar, and soon after that, banjo. Before anything, I started with mountain dulcimer.
Some winds crawl beneath your boards, playing games of neck and sword. So pull your quilt back over yours, or you meet her in the evening. Flying to a Cheshire moon, he pours you out from a tarnished spoon. It's like a feather in the wound. Will you meet her in the evening?
I have absolute pitch, so it's like a pitch recall of, you know, if I hear an E, I'm able to identify it as that. So that's really helped me just in learning by ear. I actually only figured out that that was a thing a couple months ago. You know, luckily we haven't had any horror stories yet with touring. I've enjoyed it a whole lot. You know, I mean, there are nights where you sleep in the car and it's very cold to do that.
I your bruises pale, a favor for such a pretty girl. Come and sit down on my knee, for you have met me in the evening. You have met me in the evening.
The soul that's in music is what is most important to me. And you can find that across the board in many different genres, but there's just, I like to search for the genuine expression of it all and portrayal of it from person to person, whether that's more concentrated in the lyrics or the arrangements or the performance.
All right, guys, I am with the owner of Baker's Keyboard Lounge, Hugh William Smith III. How you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good, DJ. How are you?
I'm doing good.
All right.
So tell our viewers out there, what is this Baker's Keyboard Lounge all about?
Baker's Keyboard Lounge is about jazz. It's about a historical venue that was created in 1934 to experience food and music together, which is specifically jazz and music together, and it's been that way for the last 81 years now.
Okay, and how long have you been the owner?
I've been the owner here now for about 6 years.
Okay. Are you a Detroit native?
Detroit native. I actually managed Baker's 3 years prior to owning it.
Okay.
And I've lived in the neighborhood and community for about 35, 37 years. Yeah.
All right, so I've heard you've had Ella Fitzgerald here.
Yes.
Miles Davis.
Yes.
Nat King Cole.
Yes.
So who else do you got coming here?
Again, many artists have played here. If you can name them, they probably played the stage of Baker's Keyboard Lounge. Oscar Peterson, you have Miles Davis, you have Sonny Stitz, and you have Nat King Cole, you have, the list just goes on and on and on. So we have recent artists coming up like, we're trying to bring Stevie Wonder in, we're trying to bring acts such as, local acts like 313, which is a great local band. We have Alan Barnes and Al McKenzie. These guys grace our stage every single week.
Okay, so basically this place is like just only for comedians, only for jazz singers. What's this place about?
Well, again, Baker's is primarily a jazz venue, but again, Red Fox has played here, Lenny Bruce has played here. So sometimes during this summer, we're going to lend our stage to some comedic relief, if you will, from the jazz. But again, Baker's is solely a jazz club.
All right, and so tell our Detroit viewers out there, what kind of crowds come into Baker's?
That's a great question. That's what makes Baker's Baker's. It's a diverse crowd from every social economic background. What you have is millionaires sitting down with the common working people, and they come for one experience, that is to enjoy music and great food, and they sit with their knees touching each other under the tables in this intimate venue, and they enjoy each other and their experience.
Okay, well hopefully I can get some of that food too.
Of course you can.
All right, well thank you, Hugh. We appreciate that, man.
Anytime.
All right, now let's check out some upcoming events happening in and around the D.
All right.
To discover more events in Greater Detroit, visit ixity.com. The bar at Baker's is a piece of art on its own. It's a piano painted with a keyboard motif. They also have beautiful style paintings all around the place. Our next artist is internationally known for his music-inspired paintings, as he creates iconic posters for rock groups. Here is Mark Aminski.
I've been working in and around Detroit for nearly 35 years. I've produced 500 posters, if not more, for different bands, venues, concerts, events, just about anything that seems to be going on. I've always been a huge Patti Smith fan. And when Fred Smith, her husband, passed away, she kind of got out and started playing again. So I did her first poster when she played at the Arc in Ann Arbor. And then from that, I did a few merchandise pieces for her. Her tour manager, who I got to be good friends with, asked me if I'd be interested in coming to Europe with them. So I was kind of on the fence about it, because I just didn't want to be in the way. You know, I know what touring's kind of like. I didn't want to get in her way. But a good friend of mine out in California said, well, you know, in 20 years, what are you going to remember? The reason that you did go to Europe with Patti Smith Band, or the reason that you didn't go? So that kind of prompted me into going. So I went to Europe with them and did 5 dates with them. I think Slovenia, Austria, Germany. I can't remember. I have pictures of all this stuff, but it was so Patti Smith stuff was always kind of important to me. And then I did her closing show at CBGB's. She was the last person to play at CBGB's the night they closed. So I did a poster for that event. The amount of money that I was paid to do a poster would not even begin to cover the silk screening process. I mean, there's ink involved, there's labor, paper. So I had to figure out a way to make it pay for itself. So, and early on, the bands would flip a little bit of money, the promoter would flip a little bit of money. So ultimately I ended up having to sell posters. And I think I just got lucky timing with, because they started gaining popularity and there were maybe 4 or 5 people around the country that were doing them. And so I was able to, you know, with each poster I did, I saw a little profit. When I'm making a poster for somebody is, well, let me preface that by saying one of the nice things about doing the concert posters was I had 98% total control and freedom to do what I wanted to do. I kind of knew what my boundaries were, and I would just be real careful about, you know, that I was going to do something good. If we did a big poster, the record stores wouldn't put them in a window, say 18 by 24 or bigger, because they said it would take up too much window space and cover up other stuff. So I kind of standardized the size to fit, so I could fit 2 posters and handbills to a sheet. So all of a sudden my printing costs were cut in half. I'm getting 2 posters for the price of 1. And I made them that size so they could go on telephone poles and stuff like that. Now, a lot of cities have ordinances against that stuff. So they didn't, but they were small enough that the stores could put them and use them in the window and use them for what the intent was to advertise. I think my mentors in the arts or influences or support really comes from my mom. I mean, when I was a little kid, she would take me to the DIA. She'd take all my brothers and sisters. I was the only one that kind of gravitated towards the arts, but I remember that. We'd go every Saturday, and they'd have workshops for kids that we would do. Well, before I started doing posters, I was painting. The posters just kind of started out as a creative outlet, and I had no idea where it was going, and it lasted nearly 20 years. So I think because of the changes in the whole industry and the reasons people do posters, I just kind of burned out on them. I got tired, and so I started painting again. And I've always painted a little bit throughout that process, but not, you know, when I was doing the posters, I would, whether consciously or subconsciously, be aware of that I can't do anything offensive to the band. The public is gonna see this stuff, so I've got to keep within certain guidelines that I impose myself. But with the paintings, I can do. If nobody likes my paintings, I don't care. If they love them, you know, I don't care. It's what I like to do. So I've been painting these really large paintings, but technically they weren't right. So I started looking around my studio, and I've got all this stuff lying around here. So I started actually setting up these still lifes and lighting them and taking photographs of them, and that's what I've been painting. And it's forcing me to look at, and I try to put metal, glass, plastic, different surfaces in there. And there's kind of a theme to some of them. There's always like either some kind of gun or drug related or just something different involved. So a buddy of mine calls them punk rock still lifes. I mean, I never owned Lamborghinis but you know, I paid my bills.
And that wraps it up for this edition of Detroit Performs. As always, for more arts and culture, head to DetroitPerforms.org, where you'll find featured videos, blogs, and information on upcoming arts events. Also, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. A big thank you to Baker's Keyboard Lounge for allowing us to come in here. Now, you can come in here at any time in the afternoon or evening. Until next Tuesday, get out there and show the world how Detroit performs, y'all. I'm DJ Oliver. Thanks for watching, guys.
Funding for Detroit Performs is provided by the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs and the National Endowment for the Arts, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.